Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of Ask a CMA. I'm so glad to be back. It has been a couple weeks since we've been able to do a video. But I'm glad to be back here, and we have a new way of doing things. We have a new setup, and we have a new idea that we're going to try, and I hope that you all find it interesting, or you all find it informational. You all find it just fun. So I have with me to my right here my guitar. What we're going to do for the next couple weeks is we are going to try to sound and play like a lot of our favorite Christian artists. So Chris Tomlin, Lincoln Brewster, David Crowder, a couple of these kind of people. And one thing that I want y'all to realize before we go into this is that I am not Chris Tomlin, I am not Lincoln Brewster, I am not David Crowder. I don't have their fingers, I don't have their way of playing. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to emulate the ideas and the techniques that they use. And we're going to try to get a guitar and an amp, maybe some pedals that help us sound as much like these artists as we can. And there's the cat. Let me move the cat. Welcome back. So, this first week is actually going to be a very simple one. And this is going to focus more on a type of Christian music than it is one specific artist. And for this video alone, it's going to be much more of a introductory guitar lesson than it is anything else, just to get us introduced to this new way of doing these videos, this new idea. So the first thing that you need is a guitar. Now, throughout the history of music and gospel music and Christian music, there's been a lot of different instruments used. There's been a mandolin, a banjo, piano is a huge one, bass guitar, but we're just focusing on the guitar. And for today's lesson, we are just focusing on, as you can see, the acoustic, which means that you don't have to have it plugged in. You do not need electricity to be able to hear it. You can hear it fine. And the type of music, or the genre, I guess, that we're going to focus on is old-time gospel / bluegrass music. Now, the reason why we're doing this is, number one, is it's kind of simple. It's a lot of songs that I'm sure most of us have heard growing up. And then also, all you need is an acoustic guitar. That's all you need. And it's a good introductory into what we're going to be talking about. In particular, to play a lot of songs in this old style, you really only need 3 chords. You need your G, your C, and your D. That's all you need is just a G chord, a C chord, and a D chord. And then you can play a lot of different songs, as I will show you later. Now, there's one other thing that you can use, but you don't necessarily have to. Here I have a guitar pick. Now this one's a fairly thick, very sturdy guitar pick, and it's good for doing single note kind of things, or playing really fast, you know, that kind of thing. But you can also use it for the kind of music we're going to talk about. What the pick is it really just helps you play louder. You can also called what some people call hybrid picking, or chicken picking is one way of looking at it, where you use both a pick and your fingers. So or you can just use your fingers. You can use your thumb as a pick and just, you can use all of your fingers. I just use my thumb and my index finger to just kind of pluck out the strings. But there's all kinds of different ways that you can actually play the guitar. With this lesson, we're talking about gospel music, bluegrass music. What you really need is the rhythm. And here is your rhythm. That's your rhythm. And from there, like we said, you just need 3 chords. Got pretty much every old country gospel song. Now, I'll show you a couple of ways how I like to play it. But the great thing about learning an instrument, in particular whenever we're talking about using that instrument and your talent to worship God, is it's not about really sticking to any one thing. It's about what works for you, what helps you play the best, and most importantly, what helps you get closer with God. Whenever we're talking about, in the next couple of weeks, playing music and sounding like different artists, the point is to help you take the lessons that you're going to learn and use them in your church, in your core, at home, to worship with God. So, I'm going to play, we're going to do the first verse of the chorus of I'll Fly Away. And I'll show you how I play it, and then I'll show you a couple of other ways of playing it with the pick, with different picking styles. And then you just incorporate it how you want to. But it's really simple, just those 3 chords, G, C, and D. This is how I play I'll Fly Away. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. So all I'm doing is just using my thumb and my pointer. That's it. And what my thumb is doing is it's just focusing on the E, the A, and the D, and every once in a while the G. But it's mostly just focusing on the bottom 3. What my pointer is doing is just this. It's just striking down on the top 3 strings. On the G, the B, the E. That's it. So my thumb is alternating between 1, then my finger strikes 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just going back and forth. So just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. 3, 4. That's it. You can just build up speed. And eventually you can get where you can do what's called a walk, where you can, and I'm not very good at it, so we'll stay playing slow for right now, but just stuff like that you can start to add. But to stay really simple, if you just want to use the 2-finger method, you just practice thumb, strike, thumb, strike, thumb, strike, thumb, strike, thumb. Now that's how I prefer to play it. And also another big thing is palm muting. What you do is you use the meat part of your hand and you just rest it down here on what's called the bridge of the guitar, where you kind of mute the strings and get this sound. And that helps make it more percussive. Now, it depends on how you want to do it. You don't want to go so down that you're choking out the string, but you don't want to go so light that it's buzzing. You want to get it just right. Now another way that you can play off that way is just straight strumming. So I'm going to get a pick. And it's the same kind of effect. You want this rhythm. And that's the rhythm you're going to use, and you just strum. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. It's the same idea. It's all about the rhythm. How you play that rhythm is up to you. What's comfortable for you? What helps you? What sounds good to you? And most importantly, what helps the song get you in the mood to worship God? A couple other things that we're going to talk about really quick before we close up is I play, in the praise band, I play lead electric guitar. And if we were playing this song, what's some things that I might try to add? Now, I am not a huge solo guy or a big fancy music guy. I can, but I feel like, especially with praise and worship, the focus needs to be on God. And not that you can't have moments where you can add in a solo or a solo that can fit the song. But you should never be trying to take away from the moment. It should never be about you. It should be about God. But if we were playing this song, the first thing I would do is just try to find different ways of playing those same chords. For instance, right here's a G. Well, if we skip a string and go over 2 frets, we have what's called an octave. And from that, I can make a G chord. Same chord. And I might just add a little texture to it. So if somebody's playing, I might go C, D, some bad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. Alright. Now, if I wanted to get fancy or the time called for a solo, what I would do is just stick to what's called either the pentatonic scale, which for this key, which is the key of G, we could play like this. So that's used a lot. So something like that, or I could use another form of the pentatonic scale, which is more blues based. Go all the way up. And up here, I can use just basically the same notes that are up here. We can go down here and use them down here. And that's how I kind of add leads. And I would just kind of try to add some texture here and there, just something to make the song stick out a little bit more, instead of just being kind of, which is good. Something to add a little bit more to it. Now, just to show you that I wasn't lying at the beginning of the video when I said you can use this same rhythm and the same chords for a couple different songs, we're going to play a couple different for you. And I am not good at memorizing lyrics, so I might forget some while we're singing, but it's okay. But the point is you'll understand that you can play different songs, the same rhythm, same chords. All right, so here we go, and I'm going to use, you know what? I'm not going to use a pick, you use my fingers, and here we go. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll Undertaker, won't you please die slow for that body you are hauling? Lord, I hate to see her go. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better on the way in the sky, Lord, in the sky. So there you go, guys. That's our first episode of this new series within Ask a CMA of how to sound or how to play like your favorite Christian artist. This was talking about how to play old-time bluegrass kind of music. Next week, we're going to focus on somebody who has probably been the biggest Christian praise and worship player, singer, and I know he's a favorite of a lot of people. Next week, we're going to talk about Chris Tomlin and some of the songs he likes to play, and some of the technical the technical things that he uses, the songwriting techniques that he uses, and trying to sound like his guitar players. But all right, guys, it's great to be back. I hope y'all enjoy this, and I miss you all. Y'all take care. Bye.